Yeah, I think it's time that we get some truth in this whole Mad Max escapade because, I've only seen the film once, and I just thought that it was very important to put it out there from a Mad Max fan, as in to what the real is concerning this film, because a lot of people are putting some stuff out there which I believe is false. People labeling people as men's rights activists, misogynists, sexists, which I'm not sure actually exists, and all these various things. So I just wanted just to give you exactly what Fury Road is and what it isn't. And I think the best way for us to break this down is if we do things very simply. The film is called Mad Max Fury Road. If, as a Mad Max fan, I'm going to watch a Mad Max film, and it is called Mad Max Fury Road. The clue is in the title. The clue is in the title. It's called Mad Max Fury Road. So forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm expecting to watch a Mad Max film where Mad Max is the central character. And I don't want to get people confused because people will say, oh no, Max is the main character. No, this is really about Max. Max does this, Max does that. I want to break things down systematically. And I feel the best way to break it down is to compare this film to what I believe is the best Mad Max film, which is The Road Warrior. I mean, visually, Beyond Thunderdome was amazing. Tina Turner was great in the film, but I think to compare things and to fully illustrate my point succinctly is to use Road Warrior as the best film. Now, in Mad Max The Road Warrior, with the intro, you have a voiceover. And The Road Warrior, I like to view it as, it's like a short story, a hero's short story, told by the people that the hero saves. When you look at the intro, the voiceover talks about the history, but also talks about this hero. So it's sort of, maybe it's similar to those films where he is already talking about how the hero has saved the day, and he is pretty much recollecting the story, which is what you get in the intro. So you've already set the platform that this is the story of a hero, quote unquote, not in the conventional sense. And in Road Warriors, you see that this is about a guy, not a conventional hero who saves these people by transporting their gasoline and saving them from getting pretty much snacked out by the humongous and his peeps. But the thing about Road Warrior is the people, they depend on Mad Max. They depend on him. So after you watch the film, and even when you look at the outro, which mirrors the intro of the film, you're like, yeah, man, Mad Max, yeah, man, he really saved those people, and you are interested about this guy who comes, does what he does, saves the day, not necessarily because of them, because he only really saved them based on circumstance. If it was really down to him and he got away initially, he wouldn't have saved those guys, which is what makes him such an interesting character, because he's not the standard Superman Boy Scout hero. So now you go to Fury Road, and obviously you have the intro with Max and everything. But from that point on, it is Furiosa's story. It's her struggle. It is her story arc about getting her revenge on Immortan Joe and all that stuff. That is what is the key and the backbone of the story. And I do not know why people are confused about this. And you can say whether is it feminist, is it this, but I just want to focus on the fact that, which is what I started this podcast on, which is, it's called Mad Max Fury Road. And Mad Max is not the central character. And I use the Road Warrior example because are they dependent on Max? Yes, Max does help them, but they're not dependent on him. As in, people are dependent on Superman. People are dependent on Batman. People are dependent on Rambo. Okay? People were dependent on that crazy crew in Predator, led by Dutch. So, but in Fury Road, they're not dependent on him. Furiosa, she could handle herself. So, and it was pretty much a partnership. It was a partnership. It was Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde in the wasteland. And for me, I have no time for that. Because hence why I feel aggrieved, because I feel that it is false advertisements. Because if this was called Furiosa, but you had Mad Max was featuring, but this was really called Furiosa, and from the logline and everything, that Mad Max was featuring the film, I wouldn't watch the film. I wouldn't waste my time. Because my personal thing, nothing against Charlize Theron, she's a lovely lady, nothing against her, but personally, I don't want to watch an action film starring Charlize Theron. That's just me. And I feel that everybody has a right to their opinion, and everybody should make their own choices because we all like what we like. I don't really want to watch a film starring Charlize Theron in an action film, personally. But the key thing I want to break down in Fury Road is do not get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Mad Max is not the hero of that film. That film is not about Mad Max. It's about Furiosa, and you cannot, because we have to deal with facts. And you look at another fact is Furiosa kills the villain. She kills the main villain. And by doing that act, it shows that, yeah, this is about her arc is complete. So you then think about, Max, what the hell did you do in that film, boy? I mean, that's the thing. Max, what did you do? Because in my view, Max, you were pretty much useless. So, because basically, maybe you should just call Max Jose Mourinho, or a coach or something, or call him Doc Rivers or something. I mean, because all he did was, hey, let's go back. Okay. But physically, what did he do? Because I come from the school of fundamentals. You can call me a dinosaur, you can call me a fossil, you can label all these dumb names that these 2015 future thinkers want to label me with. But I come from the school of fundamentals. I come from the school of Rambo, of Dolph's Punisher, of Dutch, of Total Recall, Raw Deal. I come from that school where the hero has to earn his keep. Where you walk away saying, you know what, man, I want to be like that dude in Raw Deal. I want to be like Dutch. I want to be like Rambo. I want to be like Cobretti. But after Fury Road, who wants to be like Max? Why should he be interested in this guy? What is of interest to him? What makes him so interesting? Surely, I mean, I don't want to be Furiosa. That's what I mean. But hence why we now come to the whole feminism kind of situation. Because I want to use the example of, let's say, you're a young kid. Put myself, my 8-year-old self, my 10-year-old self, as a young guy who obviously, is into, boom, Dutch, action films and all that stuff. If I watch Fury Road, I'll think Max was a loser. I'll say, hey, look, hey, man, you can't even take the final sniper shot. Look, hey, you're pretty much, you need help to pretty much kill guys. You can't kill guys on your own. You always have to have assistance. I'll say, no, look, you're a loser. And for me, as a young guy, why the hell do I want to be Furiosa? Because I'm a young guy. I don't want to be, how can I want to be like a woman? I'm a guy. Same thing as like, for a young girl, why should a young girl want to be like Rambo or Indiana Jones? She'd want to be like Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor. She'd want to be like Ellen Ripley, yeah. So, and that's the thing is like, but you look at Road Warrior, you're like, yeah, man, that's an interesting dude where you're not Superman. You're not here saying, hey, I'm here to save the day. You're like, look, here to do my thing. I'll help you, because helping you is helping me as well. But I'll still help you. I'll get it done, and once I get it done, I'm out. I'm not here to be celebrated or put a medal on me. I'm a lone warrior. I'm the road warrior. I just do my own thing and I go my own way. I have no friends, nothing, I do my own thing and I go. So that's so much more interesting than a guy where you're a helper. You're a helping hand. You are a helping hand. So, and I think for me that was my main issue with Fury Road. And I think the key thing is this, which I also want to add. The action set pieces were great. The action was off the chain. Okay? Because let's not, go off the rails here and let's just be objective. The action in that film was amazing. The cinematography was amazing. The music was off the chain. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. But why I liked, again, Road Warrior. I didn't like Road Warrior because of the action. It was the psychology. It was the character. And I always felt that Mel Gibson is one of the... You could argue Mel Gibson is probably the best director of his generation. Yes, he's a bit crazy. He's a bit mad, racist, whatever you want to call it, but he is the best director of his generation in my view. As among his peers of his age group, he's the best. I don't care what anyone says. He was never the greatest actor. Okay, so he never really sort of closed the deal on the Mad Max character. He never did. Never did. So, so this is why it was so good when Tom Hardy was picked, because Tom Hardy is a far superior actor to Mel Gibson. And those first 5 minutes of Mad Max, I was like, okay, Tom Hardy is doing something interesting here. But once you now bring in Furiosa, you bring in all this stuff, it detracts from what Hardy was doing. But if you focus on what Hardy was doing and you expanded upon what this brethren was bringing onto the table for Max, which I felt was very creative and interesting, you could have had in my view, a vastly superior film. Because Fury Road is not a good film. Because I watched Road Warrior pretty much the day after watching Fury Road. Fury Road has amazing action in it. Incredible action. And visually it's amazing. It's not a good film. As in, it's not a film. It's just a series of amazing action set pieces, you know. But when you look, Road Warrior is a good film. In its own very small, intimate way, Road Warrior is a good film. A visionary film. You know, it's a good film. So that's what I'm, you know, that's what I'm saying out there. So I just think that, you know, people need to just be real and stop ignoring this, because I hate when people come out there and say, oh no, Mad Max, he was the hero of the film. He did do stuff. People who are saying this are just, you know, fanboys, or they're just and I hate this term of, oh, sexist men's rights activists, from these stupid, dumb people who sit on their dumb utopia loving high horses. That just really reeks me, because I mean, I want things to be realistic here. This is not about me, about people being sexist. People are just calling it for what it is. Okay? There is a particular psychology for action films. And you know what? I'm going to go deep. I'm going to go deep, okay? Because it's good here, because I mean, look, you know, this is just a damn podcast. Action films are made for men. Yes, there are women who like action films. Of course there are. Action films are primarily for men. Romantic films are primarily for women. Yes, there are men that like romantic films. I like a few romantic films, you know. But primarily, romantic films are made for women. Hence why, whenever we have our girlfriends or our boyfriends, and the girlfriend says, hey, look, man, let's go watch a romantic film. You're like, oh, Lord. But you go and watch it, because it's your girlfriend. It's your wife. Or they're your cousin, or they're your daughters, or your nieces. Because, you know, you just have to get dragged into watch a romantic film, because that's their thing. But, so you're just doing it to appease them. And when you say, look, man, it's an action film, and you drag your girlfriend or your wife, or, you know, your daughter to it, you know, it's not really their thing. They may like a few things, but it's not their thing. So, but what makes it interesting, and I think why the world is going astray, is that men and women are different. Women are not less than men. Men are not less than women. Men need women. Women need men. What makes relationships interesting is that we are different. We think differently. We process things differently. Hence why it makes things interesting. What a relationship would be stupid and very boring if we were exactly the same. So when people talk about equality and everything, you need to be very careful by what you mean. As I said again, women should not be treated less than men. That's just dumb and stupid. We're both human beings, okay? But a woman is biologically different from a man. The way a woman has grown up is very different from how a man has grown up. Okay, going to experiences in an all-boys school is very different from the experiences of an all-girls school. So when I talk about action films and what we need from action films are stuff that only guys understand. When you talk about stuff that what you need from those romantic films, those really, you know, those amazing romantic films, they're stuff that only women understand. As in, only women really get the emotions of those romantic films, because women are much more, like mentally, psychologically, women are on a deeper level than men. It's because women psychologically think a lot deeper and a lot more intuitive in emotional sense than men. But for guys, is that, well, physical guys. Because when you're growing up in, I know, look, this is what we're going deep in here. When we're growing up in all-girls, if you're in an all-girls school, the way you sort things out is, you say things behind people's back, it's much more verbal. It's like, who said this, who said that. In all-guys school, because we're knuckleheads and we're cavemen, we fight. That's just what we do, because physicality is just how we talk. Okay, because we don't have, when we're young, obviously when we're older now, fair enough, but when we were younger, for guys, the way we conversed was by punching out, having a fight, duking it out. So when you now see action films, when you see guys with muscles and a guy punching guys out, and he saves the woman at the end of the day, that's just what action films are about. So when I look about what I want to get from Fury Road, I want to see Mad Max save the day. I'll be like, yeah man, they relied on Mad Max because he is the hero, because that is what action films are about. And for me, I'm all for there being, the Furiosas. That's fine. I want no part of it. And to add to that, because I want to make sure people don't get it twisted, one of my favorite characters of all time is Sarah Connor. And in my view, Linda Hamilton should have received at least an Oscar nomination for her transformation in that role. Physically, mentally, psychologically, what she did for that role was amazing. because it's made sense. It's made sense. Okay? So I want to look at, again, it's not slights on, oh, me being sexist. Charlize Theron is not a great actress. She just isn't. She is not a great actress. And in that role for Furiosa, I do not think she did the character justice. There could have been a very interesting character played by a Lupita, a Kate Blanchett, a Hilary Swank, and Angela Bassett. So these are other actresses of a much higher level who could have done something with the characterization of the character. Because again, Tom Hardy was giving some characterization to Max. That was just Charlize Theron bald. Okay, which I don't have anymore. So I think, which is why, I just think I want to put this out there. Because, when I just hear guys, vilifying people like that guy who wrote the whole blog thingy, Aaron Clary, and say, oh, this misogynist, I just say, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Because this is about us being real. This is no agenda here of, oh, we're against women and we're just these guys who only think about, no, this is about being real. This is about the fact that I can't get in a damn action film anymore. Okay, John Wick gives me what I want. John Wick gives me what I want. I said, yes, that is what I want. Because I can look at John Wick and say, I respect this John Wick. I want to be like John Wick. He takes care of business. He takes care of business. He takes care of business, man. But when I look at Fury Road, I can't respect Max. I can't respect him. I look at Max and say, you suck. Your final shot on a sniper rifle, you're too afraid to take the final shot. You don't have the balls to take the final shot with the pressure on you. You hand it over. That's low, man. That's low. And you pretty much need help to kill all those guys during that last sequence. That's low, man. That's low. I can't respect you. I cannot respect you. So that's just what it is. I think, but to end this, which is why, and I think that this is telling of the film. What if some guy I know from the street said, that he's watched Mad Max for the second time now, and he says it's one of the best films he's ever seen. And I asked him, why? What are the reasons? And he said, he just, he went into all the reasons, about, the action and all that kind of stuff. But he then realized that, he didn't really like Tom Hardy. And he did not really like Max, really. And for me, that is the issue. Because that is extremely worrying. For someone to say that is one of the best films he's ever seen, and he doesn't even like the title, he doesn't even like the main character in the film, well, if he is, that's a problem. And I think a lot of people who are calling this film amazing, 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 no one mentions Hardy. I hear Charlize Theron. I hear Nicholas Hoult. I hear all these war boys. We don't hear the main character. Nobody talks about Max. Nobody talks about Max in this film. It pisses me off. John Wick. Watch it. That's a proper movie. Do not get it lopsided. Mad Max or Sideshow Max was not the main dude in that film. That film is Bonnie and Clyde, and Furiosa was the main character, which I have no problem with. But next time, can you please call the film Mad Maxine? If you call it Mad Maxine, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Then I don't have to waste my time going to the cinema to watch the film. Simple as that. So I won. Thank you.